Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Back in 1983, there was a one-off special episode of Doctor Who. It was called The Five Doctors, and it was made to celebrate what was then the show's 20th anniversary. In it was a line where they were trying to transcribe from Old High Gallifreyan. Not many people speak that. Fortunately, I do, said all five doctors at once. But the line was, they were trying to work out, and they said, well, what does this mean? And it says, those who win shall lose, and those that lose shall win. And it was just a little plot device in that particular episode. But as I look back, and we're going to take a look at this story now, I realised the truth in that saying. 40 years ago, it must be said, but the truth in that episode is laid absolutely apparent. Because when it comes to the leadership of the SNP, she who lost has won, and he who won has lost. Let's look at this story to see why Kate Forbes has well and truly dodged a bullet. Here goes. So Kate Forbes is delighted not to be the SNP leader as she dodges something more explosive than a bullet. The former finance minister narrowly missed out to Humza Yousaf in a bitter leadership contest. But it seems that may have been a blessing in disguise, because basically he's taken over just as the party is imploding. He will be the one assigned all the blame, all the guilt and all the responsibility. Whoever comes after him will be expunged of all that. There will be no hangover from it. She, when she becomes leader, and I firmly believe she will be the next leader, will walk in and the room will have been sanitised, and they will be basically starting from scratch, and she of course will get rid of a lot of the old guard, those with a lot of dirt on their hands. So there she is. No wonder she's smiling. So Kate Forbes has admitted she is delighted to have lost out in the race to become SNP leader after seeing the bin fire Humza Yousaf has inherited. The former finance secretary narrowly lost out to Glasgow MSP in a vote of SNP members. Honestly, ever since he's taken over, it has been an absolute slow motion car crash, lurching from crisis to crisis to crisis. Everything that could possibly go wrong has gone wrong. By any metric you care to measure, the party has failed. And it's all failed on his watch, because he is just one of life's failures, isn't he? But she's been left breathing a sigh of relief as the Yousaf administration lurches from crisis to crisis. Bing, just again, literally what I said. The ongoing investigation into Nat's finances has seen the arrests of Sturgeon, Murrell and Beattie, with Mr Yousaf a close ally of the former First Minister. Indeed, he was always pushing himself as the continuation. Well, we don't want the continuation of what's gone before. He has also been forced to scrap the botched deposit return scheme after failing to be granted full exemption. That wasn't why. It had to be botched, and they knew it, because they lost a court case, and it would have meant that it would have been virtually impossible to bring it in on time. The SNP is also struggling in polls and is tipped to face electoral defeat in Rutherglen and Hamilton West, and indeed in just about every other constituency. They are going to be absolutely eviscerated at the next general election. Miss Forbes has been watching from the sidelines, smirking, I'd imagine, having rejected the offer of a ministerial demotion after the leadership battle in which she savaged Mr Yousaf's record as a minister. And speaking on Friday, the Sky, Lochaber and Badenoch MSP, and I hope I pronounced Lochaber correctly this time. I pronounced it Lochaber before, and I was told off in the comments. So, leave it alone. If I have said it wrong again, let me know, but I'm going to go with Lochaber this time. Anyway, she said she has dodged a bullet, and she absolutely has. She's not just dodged a bullet, she's dodged a nuclear bomb, because that party is about to crash and burn under his watch. She told an Edinburgh Fringe show with broadcaster Ian Dale and former Home Secretary Jackie Smith she was most delighted by the way things had worked out. Smirks. I bet she is. I bet she is sitting there rubbing her delicate little hands in glee. She said the situation inherited by Mr Yousaf has been enormously difficult, but not for her, adding she not just dodged a bullet, but perhaps something even more explosive than that. Miss Forbes did not rule out another run at the top job, although she claims she currently had no desire to rerun. No, what she's saying is, oh, I'm not going to say that I want to rerun, but inside, she wants to be rerun. And remember, don't believe anything until it's been officially denied. And she's denying that she has a desire to rerun, which means she's definitely going to run. She's also reiterated a desire to put the Butte House Agreement to SNP members, and we've talked about this before. She definitely wants to kick the Greens out of power, out of government, and just get rid of them because they are so dangerous in everything they do. Ms Forbes has found herself in opposite camps from the SNP government partners in the Scottish Greens, who she feels many. Sorry, I'll reread that because words are hard. Who many feel have too much influence on the direction of Mr Yousaf's executive. She's been critical of plans to ban fishing in 10% of Scottish waters and is also a vocal supporter of dualling the A9. Dualling the A9 will immediately start saving lives. That's the end of that. For the Greens, they think that their policies are more important than people's lives. They need to be taught it's the other way round. And as for the fishing, that was just a random 10%. There was no scientific basis. Yeah, let's just say, oh no, 10%. Okay, where? Well, it don't really matter, does it? Well, actually, yes, it really does matter. There's no point doing something like that if it's got no effect. It's just pointless. And you're destroying people's lives for political purposes. There's no scientific basis behind your reasoning. It's rubbish. This is why the Greens are so loathed. Anyway, explaining her decision to reject... Oh, well, there's an easy one here. Explaining her decision to reject Mr Yousaf's offer to become Rural Affairs Secretary, she said, I was very conscious at the end of the leadership contest, my primary responsibility is to my constituency, which is a rural area. And rural affairs were particularly exposed by the Butte House Agreement. I did feel it would be a difficult job to do in the light of some of the comments I made during the leadership contest. Had I gone ahead and delivered policies that I previously fundamentally disagreed with, I think everyone would be asking questions about my integrity. And she did the right thing. She walked away and she said, not my circus, not my monkeys, you deal with it, I'm not getting involved. And quite right too. There's also the fact that she would be seen, if she took the job, as endorsing Humza Yousaf and his policies. And his policies are quite clearly wrong. And we do stories every day about how wrong they are, and particularly the NHS, which I did earlier, and which, if you're watching this and you haven't seen the NHS one, go and watch it. It will frighten you what is going on in the NHS. Anyway, I shall stop there and I shall come up, and I do hope, just for the remainder of this Parliament, that there is the challenge, that Humza Yousaf goes, that she gets in, and that the Greens are kicked the hell out and told to quite basically sod off and never darken the doorstep again. Anyway, coming up. Kate Forbes is an odd politician. She's pro-independence. Okay, I get that she's pro-independence, that's what she wants. But she's undoubtedly a very intelligent woman. And when you see her qualifications, you can appreciate she is a very, very intelligent woman. And for someone so intelligent, she must surely realise, looking at the numbers, that Scotland simply cannot afford to be independent. It just cannot. And yet there she is. And yet she's socially conservative. From a finance base, and she's coming from a finance background, she will be centrist to centrist right on finances. She would be a truly excellent Conservative MP. And yet she seems to have this strange predilection for independence, which is something that the majority of Scots don't want. It's a very odd position to be in for her. And of course the absolute hard left within the SNP absolutely loathe her. Mary Black, despises her. Which is why I would love Kate Forbes to become leader. Because Mary Black wants to come back up to Scotland and go sit in the in Holyrood. And I would love Mary Black to sit in Holyrood and look at her leader, the woman she absolutely despises, and it will burn Mary Black every day. It will burn her. It would be joyous. But there we go. You can't always have what you want, but it's on my wish list. Dear Santa, what I'd like for Christmas is. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching this. I do enjoy doing the lighter stuff, and this is obviously lighter stuff, and it is always fun when you're burning the SNP to the ground over their policies and things without having to be too serious. This isn't a serious one. The NHS was very serious. This was a little bit fluffier, and that's fine. So I do enjoy these ones. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and let's hope that there is a leadership challenge very, very soon. Bye.